So my parents didn't really know each other when they got married. They're both Iranian. And in Iran at the time, men and women weren't really allowed to socialize. So usually, it was arranged marriages. But I think in my parents' case, my dad kind of had the hots for my mom. And he kind of like, I don't know, maybe followed her home from school or something a couple times and maybe like catcalled her or maybe made some small talk that he wasn't supposed to really do. And she probably answered something very brief that she wasn't supposed to do. But at a certain point, she was sent to a boarding school in England, and he still had the hots for her. And he decided to go to the States to make his fortune. And he moved to the States, and he made a little bit of money. And he was writing to her. He got her address and wrote her letters, and he basically proposed to her by mail. And he had first gotten permission from her older brother. Her parents were both dead, to marry her. And he was like, sure, go ahead, be my guest. So he proposed by mail, and my mom agreed by mail. She must have been pretty depressed and lonely in England to accept to marry a complete stranger, basically. But she did. And she flew to Washington, D.C., where my dad was living, and they got married that day. And I bet they had sex for the first time that night. And I don't know what happened. Like, no one has told me the truth of this story. But my guess is she didn't have a great time and kind of realized who she had married and was pretty unhappy about the situation and felt trapped. And he probably felt the same way. And it was only a matter of time before he was cheating on her and she was feeling cheated on. And, they finally got divorced, but it was an unhappy marriage.